Alright everyone, welcome to special Friday evening live feed. And we're going to finish up this Cad Bane piece. So let's get things started out here, see what's going on. And I got to look up the Facebook feed. Let's do a check for sound. Everyone got sound and video? I think everyone should have video now. Okay, we got Facebook coming online. Looking forward to seeing this one through its completion. Awesome work, aspirations for the rest of us. Thank you, Mead. And let's get to what we're going to be painting. All right. So for those who are checking in tonight, that didn't check in last night, didn't see what we got going on. I developed this reference image. One second. There. This reference image for this painting tonight, which is Cad Bane. Cad Bane is a character from the new, well, basically not from the new. He did his first appearance on the live action Book of Boba Fett show on Disney Plus. And background is bounty hunter from came first in Clone Wars. So it's always been a really cool character. So what I did is I did some photo manipulation of the character from the live action and made him look a little bit more like the one from the cartoon. Elongated the face, did some tweaks and things like that. And so that's how I ended up with this. Marcus, what's going on, brother? And so let's see what we got in the house tonight. We got Paul, Mike G, howdy, Gary Shees, and Mr. Leahy. Been waiting all week. I know it's been a long week since last night. So let's show the progress of where we left off last night, and let's go paint this thing. So this is where we ended up. I didn't actually touch anything today. I went through the paint a little bit, made sure, basically it's the same paint from the guns last night. I just ended up, I restrained everything and cleaned the guns out quick and made sure it's all good so we don't have any issues tonight. How's it going, Sean? Middle of the night here. Marcus, yeah, cool, man. Thank you for checking in over Facebook. If you can, click that link over to the YouTube side. You'll see all the high-res and multi-cams we got going on. And, yeah, we can get this thing started. Just so everyone knows, we left off last night. We do have a couple bids on this. So the high bid right now is at $300, and we will continue taking bids throughout the evening. And this thing will go to the highest bidder at the end of the evening. So let's get started. A little refresher what we got here. The colors again I used. This is Illustration Sepia. So Cratex Colors Illustration Sepia straight. I didn't do any modification to it. Other than I put a little 40-50 because I'm on a hard surface. And hold on a second, on my hose. Second color is the same sepia. The same sepia, but I added some black. Okay? So basically, it's my darker version of that color. Just a few drops of illustration black. I might even put a few more drops in as I go. Color number 4. Hey Zeus, how you doing, buddy? Is kind of basic. I took sepia and added a little of the opaque cream color to it. So it's just, a lighter kind of brown, like a tannish color. And then final color is a near white, which is just that cream color. And I put like a drop or two of sepia in it just so it's not as white. But, appears white. On the surface. Okay, if you use pure white, it's way too much. All right, so, and then, the other thing I did do is I did mix up straight sepia with very little reduction in my straight Eclipse. So if I need to do any, like more opaque fills, I can. But it's the same color as the beginning. It's just, it's not weakened with any, with any over reduction, because the micron, you got to over reduce it a little bit. All right, let's get started. What is the font you used on the thumbnails? I forget the name of it. It's part of a font pack that I purchased this year from Heritage Type. I can look it up eventually and let you know what it was. All right, so I want to get this brim kind of established a little bit more. Make sure we're all good there. So, and I want to get it, basically I just want to get it tighter. And I can make it kind of darker over here and really get it. I can really get it nice without contaminating the background too much. So, I did some work today, and this was one of the ones. So I cut a new, basically a new template with some more little details in there. So I want to kind of get the hat a little bit more detailed. So this way I can line this stuff up. And I didn't want to risk not finishing this tonight, so we're definitely going to get this in there. Let's see here, make sure we're kind of in a good position. Okay. This just has the line work for there we go, yeah. Just enough to set that apart. There, okay. Funny you say that, keeps popping up in my feed. Yeah, it's a really good font set. Usually I just go to DaFont and get, a lot of the free stuff. But that was, you definitely keep an eye out for, it goes on sale all the time. So, I wouldn't pay full price for it, but the price they gave you on it was really good, so. This hat's pretty, like dark in the picture, so I'm not trying to get, too much detail in here. Just want to get it established at the start. Good group tonight. Yep. I'll come in with a darker color and start shading off this and kind of matching with the photo reference. And I'm figuring tonight's feed probably about an hour and a half or so. I don't want to run over Vamps Lounge's feed, which goes off tonight. I think at 9:30. So I'm going to plan on being done before then. Here's the plan. Actually watching Boba Fett as I watch this. Awesome. Great series. They've done a really good job with it. I'm going to shift this over just to get that three-dimensional feel of that buckle. Cool. Alright, now what else did I do here? So I made this template. Yep, so this has the moisture evaporator and a little bit more detail on Cad Bane kind of in the background here. So we're going to line this up. Do the Steve Leahy animation cell movement. I'm going to see where we're at. I'm going to line you up there. You know what, and I'm going to hit this with the darker color. I should have taped this down. One-handed. There you go, Marcus. Yeah, much better there. Big difference, huh? So I'm going to actually put the dark color in here first. I'm going to use this in here as well. Basically, I cut some darker details in the tubes in here, so I get a little more separation. So that was that dark sepia I made by adding black to the illustration sepia. And now I can kind of set that moisture evaporator up, and see that just gives him a little bit of detail. I think I should have went a little softer with it. It's a little too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, because he's still supposed to be kind of like blurry in the background. So I'm going to take that kind of darker color, the lighter color. I'm going to fog over him entirely and kind of set him back a little bit. And I'll soften him as I go, because that can actually kind of start. I can put that in the sky color and sand, and it kind of just pushes him back a little bit. And then we'll put in the whole moisture evaporator like this. And just get her in there. We'll do some erasing details and things like that on this a little bit. That's a background element. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but just kind of want to get it in there. You know, he's pretty small. This is definitely... I am not as proficient as Mr. Leahy of doing micro painting. But, you know, to Steve, that's kind of a billboard at this point. But for me, it's a little small, but we'll make it work. You know, so if I freehanded now, these little detail, I'll just, you know, do some folds and some wrinkles, and it starts to soften the character up a little bit. we'll do a little bit of erasing on him. He's really, like I said, he's pretty much a silhouette. I got the clouds out tonight again. We got a nice icy sleet storm today. And then I'm going to cut the silhouette of him out, and I'm going to back spray that background. So I'm going to work on this for a sec. Get these little details out. Sunny as can be in California. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Let's work on this Motor Vegas thing here. Again, I'm not putting so much detail in this, but I just want to get a little bit. Let's get a little bit of detail in here, and we can move right in onto the face. Bits. Oh, Javier's over on Facebook side. Yeah, I stopped. Facebook just became so unreliable. That's why I really moved everything over here. It's such a more stable stream for everyone involved. We'll make that antenna. Easy peasy. Just a little bit of sand texture.
What's a negative 11 in Celsius?
So what's that? Yeah, I don't know what negative 11 Celsius is.
That's right. It's under freezing.
Yeah, so we're gonna be in the teens tomorrow. We're probably about this roughly around the same. I've never been good.
That's 12 degrees.
So 12 degrees? Yeah. I don't know what we are right now.
I think today was pretty warm.
Yeah. Well, not super warm.
It's 20 right now.
So it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit here. So
a few days ago, it got to like -3. Or no, at one point it got to, I think it got to -5 at one point. Earlier this week. It was like -5, -6 when I left for school.
Yeah, when you leave in the morning, sometimes it's pretty cold. Cool. Oh yeah, it's always getting colder this time of year. Everywhere. All right, let's see. So what I want to do is I want to tighten up this a little bit. Now the key is going to be lining this shit up to what I already did. And hopefully don't botch it too much. Cool, yeah. That sharpened things out a little bit. Oh, yeah, look at this eyelid. Want to get some of this texture in the eye. There's a lot of texture in his eyes around the edge, so I want to put that in. Let's see if I can zoom in on that a little bit here. There we go. So I just took the inside of Gerald's texture effects. And I'm just going to softly put that in here now, because I don't want to put it in too much later. So that just gives it a nice bit of texture in the eye before I start doing all the highlighting and stuff. Are you going to make the figure in the background as clear as the reference? No, it's going to be pretty blurry because that image, you know, I want it a lot softer. So I'm going to soften him out at the end. Yeah, it was a good episode, right? I don't know how many episodes are left. I'm not sure if next week is the last or if there's one more. You have to look. What, you're not done yet? Nope, not done. Just getting started back up. But this will be done tonight. A lot of now is, you know, just getting texture and shading into it. And I'll start doing some erasing, adding some white, and it'll come together pretty quick at this point, I think. Yeah, 38 views, pretty good. We actually, last night was good. We averaged like 60 something.
Yeah,
And then at one point we spiked over 100 and something. That was really cool.
It was like 109. But it was like, I don't know how long it was, but it's still interesting.
So see what I did there? I missed it over color. Now I'm just bringing that toothpick out as opposed to spraying white. That's really going to bring them out.
Yes, do not forget to hit the like button.
Yeah, definitely hit the like buttons. I want to get this highlight in the eye. Just carve that right in there. It's a pretty hard reflection there. And I don't know where my eraser stick went. Oh, there it is. It fell.
Is there anything else on the grid that you need?
So, I was watching, but I didn't comment. My computer has issues. Yep. Sometimes computers just have issues. Yeah, definitely gonna need some darker shading to really pop that highlight out, but I don't want to do it all at the end either. I like to try to establish a lot of it early, because if you do it too late, then everything gets super harsh and it's hard to back off things. So if I do it now, you know, I can still go in and add this a light texture here. Yeah, I'm still working in that really mid-tone color. I haven't done much of a dark color yet, but I will. I really just want to get that eye like it's got a lot going on in there. And we'll come back in, start to find some of these wrinkles. There's a big highlight right here, so I'm going to knock that in now. I'm going to knock the edges kind of soft. And then I'll erase out the center pretty. See how that just brings the highlight out really nice. Love that erasing technique. And it's not like I'm not going to use like a lighter color, but I'm going to use it very sparingly. I want to do a lot of it by just erasing back to the board. You see how that's softening it? Because if I did all the dark and then came in to do this, it would be so harsh. Just like even if I was using white paint or like that lighter color, I'd be doing that now and not, you know, I wouldn't wait to the end to do it because all those highlights would be so dramatic. You know, you always want to work them. I kind of always work them in the middle. So if we can go back to seeing it all. Now, if you were doing like illustration board, and you didn't like, because I'm working on metal, you know, a panel, I added 40-50 in it to make it a little bit stickier, which definitely makes it erase a little less easy. Which is fine, because I'm kind of used to doing it that way, because, you know, I do erasing with urethane, house of color as well. So I'm kind of used to it being a little more difficult to erase. The solvent definitely doesn't erase the same as... Gerald Mendez is in the house. How we doing, my friend? My good friend Gerald. Thank you for popping in, sir. And look, we're not painting green tonight. We're not using any green. Just straight sepia tone. That's good. I kind of like the way that's working. Just gonna soften them up and then start doing some. I think we're almost ready to start bringing some of the darker colors in. I really want to darken that hat up. It's looking cooler. Every little step, it gets better and better, right? Kind of get some more of these wrinkles in here. A little bit of this core shadowing. I want to soften up this eyelid too. It's a little harsh from the stencil. So we're just going to hit those edges. Soften it up under there. I'll put the pressure up a little bit more. And I'm going to airbrush some of these wrinkles. Might actually thin the paint out a little bit more right now. I think I'm at the point where I'm not going to use this color much more. Got the strength. I think I can afford to reduce it down a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save a little bit before I reduce it down. Current bid for this one is at 300. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I'm going to save it at that strength. I'm going to add a little bit more reducer. Backflow it a little bit and make sure we're working good here. Cool. Yeah, see now that this in, I can go in, I can put some of these small wrinkles in. Get those wrinkles around the mouth. You know what's weird to paint? Lips are always difficult, but lips that actually don't have traditional lips can even be more so.
Lips are my least favorite thing to draw.
Oh, I hate drawing.
Realistically, they never look right.
Yeah, I hate drawing lips.
There's always something off about them. They look like they're just pasted onto the face. They don't look like they're part of the face. Like, it's the main thing I struggle with. It's the main reason why I don't draw realistically. Is because of lips.
Yeah, they could be just a pain. Darken that scar right there.
Thank you.
Blue, you're amazing. Oh, for those who didn't see it, I just shared it and Dave just shared it. They've officially put the dates up for the Airbrush Rendezvous, and they're taking spots now, and it is going to be May 12th through the 15th. And that's this year. So if you're looking to get out of the cold and learn some skills, come on down. And then the dates for the art circus, I think, are up. And that's June. First week of June, I believe. So go to airbrushartcircus.com. I don't have that queued up and ready to go. Now I'm thinking about...
What's lips ink?
I don't know.
I do want to go roller skating now that you mentioned it. I've been roller skating like 2 years.
It's been longer than that.
Oh yeah, you know what? Last time was the cruise that we went on.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
The first cruise I ever went on.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No.
No, because I've only been on 2 cruises, and the second one was the one with Jerry.
That's the one with your roller skating on.
No. But yeah, and I have rollerblades, but I'm really bad at using them.
Kaylee's like Bambi when it comes to rollerblades.
I have weak ankles. When I play volleyball, I wear ankle braces so I don't roll my ankles.
Alright, good. This color's working great. Alright, let's really start to punch these eyes out. And this is where... So see, now, because this is so set up and toned, when I add this dark, it doesn't take much because it's already kind of there. So kind of working inside everything that I've already created. But it happens really quick. So again, it can be really strong. But because I already got that mid-tone, it works really fast. I do want to... Next So I'm going to have to set up a table next to me that I can keep all these stencils on. There's too much happening here. So I want to just sharpen all across that ridge right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy. And I'm going to cut this edge. Oh, that's actually not going to help me too much. So I can't use that one. There we go. I'm going to use this one that I haven't cut the eyes out of yet. That's what I want to do. So I want to really darken the brim of this hat. So I can set those eyes underneath there really nice. Plus I want to get this, I want to get the edge of this hat nice and dark. Yeah, so you hit that edge, now it starts to sit everything beneath it. Tone up into here. I'd like to thank everyone for popping back in 2 nights in a row. Where's the, There we go. Still love this one. This is the one I showed you guys last night, which was, Drew Blair's micro dots. Really nice. I love using it around the eyes, like where wrinkles are, because I can just kind of set them in. And it really helps just really add some nice texture into a piece, especially like, you know, sci-fi fantasy, because it's not, I'm not trying to mimic real skin, but this really does a nice job of doing that. And they got a couple sizes, but you know, you come up close and look at this, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me get it on that cheek. See all those little dots? Just really, I'm going to put a little bit right here. It's just really nice to add in. You know, if you can see, I'm not sure if you can see that or not. But in person you can, and it makes a lot of difference. So a lot of times what I do when I'm doing characters like this, wherever I'm putting wrinkles in tone, I kind of put a little bit of that texture in there first. It just really adds to it. We need to take advantage of hanging out with you as you can't. Well, we got 2 this year. We got the circus coming up in June. We got the rendezvous. Lots of stuff coming back finally. I'm doing a lot of this freehand. I could really make this technical, like super tight technical. I don't really want to do that. I want to keep some things loose. So because I set the mouth up, now going in for like the deeper spots where it's really dark, that's going to really set up. Everything. But I can come back in with that sepia too and kind of, if it gets really harsh, I can soften this up.
Thank you, Corey Green.
Corey Green, thank you so much for that. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, the cameras, were a big part of it, and then nice lighting, and, I learned a lot this year about how to set this stuff up, because I was definitely not educated on it prior. I had a lot of help by a few guys, too, that really helped me out in the early stages, getting everything set up and registered. London Pen, thank you, my friend. Up in the game.
Well, that came way after you saw it this time. It's never came in that late. It just got through.
That's right. This thing, we talked about, like, when I did the skull one, I had a reserve on that, and the reserve, I want to hit a certain point. So if we're talking reserve is off on this one. So this one's going. High bidder gets this one. Gotta get the hat in here. Oops, that's the wrong brush. Wrong brush. Lots of time and effort. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It was. It's been worth it. Because the feeds look good. When the feeds look good, more people will come in, enjoy it. I get more out of it. I think the hardest thing, for me setting this up was, I really hate editing. And so some of my earlier projects, there was a lot of editing, like the Black Widow spider and everything. It's, hours of filming, which, during the project is one thing. But then it was like a week of editing. And, because I wanted multiple angles, so I go cameras and you bring them in and you sync them all up and you do the sound and blah, blah, blah. And I really wanted to get it to a point where I could do a live feed. I could do a live feed as if it's been edited multi-cameras, and just have that higher quality. Yeah, Gerald, I have a very slight background, just glow. I might put I'm gonna put a couple moons. I mean suns, because the planet has 2 suns, but it's pretty desolate desert, and that's kind of the feel. So not a lot of background, just a couple elements.
In the photo there was no background.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep it. I'm definitely gonna put a sun in. I'm gonna do the old school method for doing a sun, and we'll show you that in a sec. What time are we at, Kelly? 9?
Yeah, 8:52.
About half an hour to get this to the done point. Or done enough where guys who bought paintings we know, I usually put another hour, couple hours into this afterwards and add little details. And, I don't rely on just what I did here. I usually put a little extra time in it afterwards. This darker color is really great just to get all these little details back in and start getting all the separations. Just really adding that depth, but the definitely key is setting that up ahead of time by getting that nice mid-tone in there. Did Javier leave? I didn't see Javier he was on Facebook, but I don't think he ever popped over to the YouTube side. Going around the face and kind of blocking in. We're going to soften all these edges and just push and pull. they didn't do it in the show, but in the cartoon he had like almost looked like 2 buttons right here. I'm gonna put that in.
Where?
Right here on the, like, yeah, the tubes coming in. Then there was almost 2 more like notches right here.
Oh yeah, there were.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just kind of put that in here.
I forgot about those.
I've been doing a lot of Cad Bane research. Yeah, I could never do. Well, see, be the only color you use. Well, I'm using different versions. So right now I'm using the sepia mixed with black. So this is the darker version of sepia. And then I have a sepia mixed with cream, you know, to do like a mid. And then I have it mixed white with a few drops of sepia. But that's it. I'm not using, you know, any other colors other than sepia. Good enough tanning. I want it to look like an Old West kind of photo deal thing. That's kind of what I'm going for.
Did you see Steve like he pretended to be a bot?
Steve doing that again?
He's pretending to be a bot because we haven't had a bot in a while, so I thought I'd pitch in.
I think you were talking about a VCR, not a VRS.
No, he's pretending to be a bot.
Steve needs his VCR repaired.
Hey Steve, which one of these sticks contains a plus?
Oh my god.
That was good.
This would have been an awesome painting. If Steve ever makes it up here, this would have been a perfect thing if Steve was in town, because I would have had Steve paint the little guy. His technique and me paint the big guy.
Amazing.
Steve, if we do a live feed here one day, if you ever come up, we're gonna figure a way where I'll do the big areas and you do the tiny background stuff, and that'll be a fun feed.
You need to get another chair.
I have chairs. Okay, so someday me and Steve are going to make something like that happen.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Next time he's back in town.
Well, I think he's in town. I don't think I saw him.
No, he came during the day. You were at school.
Chris Garcia overheard a kid ask me what his VCR was.
That's funny.
I hate that.
VCR, video cassette recorder. My funnest job when I was a kid was working at the video store.
I wish video stores were still like a thing. I feel like that would be a fun job.
Video stores were awesome.
We have nothing in my town for me to work. Like, at all.
Okay, do a part and send it to him to do the background on his live. Yeah, I can do that, but I think we're gonna plan a feed at some point because he's gonna come into town.
Oh really?
Yeah. We've talked about trying to make that happen, and vice versa. I like to come out there. Warlock, thank you very, very much for that. Alright, I want to soften him up and start softening his background and start pulling this together. Have a go on, Darker. And don't forget, after my feed's done, you can go over to Vamp's Lounge. He's going to be doing his on Facebook.
Remember when a laser disc was a thing for like 5 minutes?
What's that?
Carl Becker said, remember when laser disc was a thing for like 5 minutes?
Laser discs were awesome. Actually, that's the first time I saw Guyver. You know, the bio suit one was from that.
Oh, Steve, sorry I was away for a sec. Did I hear him crashing the McKay compound again?
Sometime. So, Steve, I was saying, if you weren't here, we got to do a feed like this where I do these two images and you do the small guy and I do the big one. Because I'm sitting here going, man, I wish Steve was here to do this part. So I'm going to cut this guy out because I don't really like what I got going on here, and I want to kind of carve out the background and kind of push him back, and I can soften some things up here. Like I said, this is Steve's domain. This is definitely not my domain. But I did that when I was doing this piece because it wasn't hard enough to do Cad Bane in a couple hours. I'm like, it'd be cool just to add this. So now I have them silhouette there. I'm going to try to cut these little tubes. I really want to kind of bring those out. I got one of those swivel blades. I tried working with that. That definitely takes some practice. Like the ones like Gerald's been using. I think my paper's a little too thick for that. I use a really heavy stock. And that's okay, so I'm going to use this white. It has a little, not pure white, but a little bit of sepia in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them back in place. Now I'm going to paint the background around them. That should sharpen him out nicely there. It kind of backlights him a little bit and silhouettes him.
375.
Thank you, Gary. There we go. Now I can put that reflection. If I use pure white here, it'd be really stark. But see how that just, if I soften the background around him, it just softened him up. want to do here is I actually want to take this kind of a cream color I got going, and I want to mix that a little bit into the whole background because I want to make the sun really subtle. And I can't do that with the white. So what we're going to do first, we're going to have two suns. We'll do a big one, a small one. So I'm going to use a bottle here, and I'm going to just faintly put in this cream color like that, and see, it just makes a very soft sun because this bottle is rounded. It leaves a nice soft one there, and then we're going to do the other sun like it's just behind him. So just subtle. Yeah, I'll have to cut back in because you can kind of see that there, but that works out really good. Now I can come in here and have that white make this kind of a bright center. Okay, now you can see the two suns. Simple, yet effective. Blue, you are awesome.
Yay.
Thank you for that support.
Have a good night.
Have an awesome night, and we'll see you soon. I know we'll see you at the next one of the next events. So that really worked. It really shaded him nicely. Now I can go in and I can soften some of the stuff back up in here. And it just makes him nice. Just kind of blurs him a little bit. Yeah, so let me see if I can get a little tighter on him. You can see what's happening here. Trust me, he's not that crooked because the camera looks a little funky.
Yeah, it looks...
But he's not that crooked. So you can see I got a little overspray here when I was doing that. That's fine. That's an easy fix. I'm going to be going back in here. That's with that dark. And now go back to the sepia brown. And then, you know, we're going to have, like, I've been misting over here quite a bit because at the very end, I'll mask him and I'll go back on that white and give it that glow. So it's like he's kind of got that rim lighting behind him. "20 minutes, I think we can get this to a good state in 20 minutes. Getting down to them details. See, by working up here in the shadows and leaving that starts exposing the highlight there without trying to like do it with bright white. So I can come back in here. You know, I am going to use a little bit. Be really sparing in here. Use that white there. Do a little bit of white in here. And I think this needs to be reduced as well. Where's my 4011? Go. The reducer. Get that nice little highlight off the eye there. So this is nice when this is not pure white. This is the Illustration Wicked Opaque Cream mixed with like a drop or two of the sepia. If I was to use, like I said, if I just use pure white here, it would just destroy this piece. So we're coming down to the last 15 minutes. after I finish the feed, after I finish, I'm gonna go in. I want to figure out a little bit more what's up here because I don't have a really clear image of that.
In the photo?
Yeah, it's kind of blurry. I want to look at what the sides of his helmet, his hat look like in reality, and just. Try setting up day with Steve, Scott, and Gerald. I don't know which one face first. I'm going to go in the I'm going to tighten up some of these reflections. There's a lot of technical pieces on this that I want to do a little bit more of. I'm looking for this. I had a whole silhouette of him.
This?
No. But okay.
Where I just saw it for a second.
Ah, there we go. That's the one. So what I want to do is I want to get that outer glow around his edge. Like the sun's like lighting behind him. Yeah, that looks really cool. Right here as well. And I'm not trying to make it super sharp. I want to get in here. All these little tricks and highlights and things just really soften it up. Oh yeah. Now Craig was a big influence on me. Drew, obviously Gerald. I've been fortunate enough in my career to actually work alongside with these gentlemen, learn from them, and become really good, close friends. Speaking of close friends, we got news a couple hours ago that last night Jeff Styles had a heart attack. But he's in the hospital, or was in the hospital, and seeing doctors, and from what I gather is doing well. I don't know any specifics, but so keep Jeff in your thoughts. And I know Dave will put out details as they become available. Without Gerald, we would have no details. There would be no details in the world. And I'm definitely going to put, I definitely want to do a little bit. This is going to be scary because I'm going to splatter some paint. Remove it because I want to make it look kind of old and grungy over here, And over here. Just put some speckles. Now I'm going to hit this edge because I want to picture frame this. The other thing, and this I saw, Gerald doing, going down to really low pressure, like super low. And getting the paint to just spit. So I got the pressure down to very little. And I'm going to swipe it and make it look all gritty over here. Like I said, I want that old photo kind of look and feel, especially down the lower half. A little destructive wiping just to make it look cool. It's kind of risky, but whatever. Make it. Marsha, have a good one. Okay, so we're getting down the last 5 minutes here. I think the last bid was what, honey? 375?
375, Gary.
So the highest bid as of right now is 375 from Gary. If you're gonna up it, now will be the time, because we are gonna get your last and finals in here, because I am getting to the end. I'm gonna pull the tape in a little bit, and then as everyone knows, I'm gonna go in. I'll probably do a couple hours more worth of work, and then we'll clear it. And I got a bunch of these to get out. I gotta finish the clearing the second round of the skull one. I gotta get that out to its owner and get it photographed before so we can do some prints. I'm gonna soften this white highlighting up a little bit under the brow. We'll just tighten it and see, just keep pushing that back. Now that it's all established, I can start doing washes and kind of toning things. Jeff's an amazing artist and just a great guy, great human being. He'll be back. He'll be back jumping shit, doing stupid shit really soon. That's what he does. And that's why we love him. One of the reasons. Getting there, getting there. Yeah, I'm really loving this piece. This one will be a hard one to see go. I really like this one. Not that I don't like my pieces generally, but...
I think it's because it's CAD.
Yeah.
Because it's such a new thing. There isn't really much out about it yet.
Yeah.
It feels very special.
Whenever I do these double feeds, it's just because the piece has got so much in it that... Oh, they put stints in them on your mouth. Cool. Thanks for the update. So after I'm done, don't forget to go over to Kelly O'Brien Plays and his feed. I wish I had the link for him, but it's over on Facebook. If anyone's got the link for his feed off the top of their head, feel free to put it in. Alright, last 2 minutes, last bids in. So we got 375 going once. Mr. Gary. $375 going twice. So I had saved my sepia in a little container. Now I have lost said container.
Is it this back here?
Yes. Thank you. Alright guys, best and final bids, get them in, and we're going to close this thing out. I'm going to untape this. I'm going to call it pretty much done. Minus a little bit of after touch-ups. Very fun painting. Really digging the way this came out overall. If there are no more bids, it is 9:30. I'm going to call this done, and this puppy is going to Gary, to the home of tons of awesome airbrush art. Gary, someday you're going to have to just start a gallery. And start documenting everything. I really appreciate the support. Couple little details. Alright, let's pull this tape. I want to see how this looks. Yeah, that's a cool one. It's going to be a shame to gloss clear this, but we know Gary loves his gloss clear. Alright, let's pull the tape and see what this looks like. Gerald, details! Thanks, buddy. Pull the border. Let's see how we look. this guy out. So you can see the whole framing, whole picture framing. Pull this. And that looks pretty darn cool. That is it, kids. Did you overlay the FPS? Yeah, that was FPS there. But that was the only tape I used, was just the border. Everything else was pretty much just freehand. A little bit of some stenciling, some freehand, a little bit of everything. You know, I think I might sand this out. I might bring the brim of the hat going over this way too. I think that might look better. We'll do a little work. We'll sign this thing, get it done. That is it, kids. I want to thank everyone for popping in to the special edition feed, checking out this painting. It was very fun to do. You can see the size of it next to my big head. Got a blast. And I want everyone to have a great weekend. Keep your thoughts with Jeff. Go check out Kelly's Vamps Lounge live feed right now. And everyone have a great weekend. Talk to you all soon. Thanks for tuning in.